Hey guys, this is Mike here with Clean Eats Goldsboro and CrossFit Goldsboro in Wayne County, North Carolina. I've got one of my coaches with me, one of my clients, incredible fitness journey. Her story, I think, is going to motivate, and you guys will be able to take a couple gold nuggets away from some of the things that she's done over the last couple of years. Anything from her strength gains to her weight loss to her fitness journey. She is one of the leaders of our Super Moms Club. I've done nationals the last 2 years in Olympic weightlifting, a mother of two. I'll let her talk about what she does for work. She got a part-time job. She does it all. So love to call her friend. Also love to be able to call her one of my clients, and honored for me to coach her. So we're going to dive into a whole bunch of different things. But Miranda, I just wanted you to introduce yourself real quick. What do you do for a living?
I am Miranda. I am a financial advisor. So I'm like licensed Series 766. I can buy and sell a bunch of stuff for you, make a bunch of people a bunch of money. But I'm also a part-time fitness coach, and that's kind of what I really love doing the most.
Outstanding. Well, I want to ask you, financial advisor, what's like the minimum number it takes to become one of your clients?
To be one of my clients, our minimum is $100,000.
Okay, awesome. And how much money do you guys manage?
Right now, under management, about 105 million. Market's gone down a little, so it was a little higher.
Awesome.
Now it's a little.
If anyone's listening to this and you're wanting to make some money, right now is probably the best time I've ever seen in our country, the best time that we've ever been during the time that we've been on Earth and been alive. But we can backtrack the whole way to the 30s with this economy.
Yep.
You said it the other day, with recession, what happens?
Millionaires are made in a recession.
There you go. Awesome. So there's a little tidbit for you guys. If you have no clue about the stock market, or you have no idea if you got some extra cash laying off to the side and you want to turn it into some passive income, I call it easy money. Miranda could definitely help you out with that scenario. So the fitness coaching is what we want to dive into. We want to hear about your journey. I think this could really motivate literally anyone that's willing to listen to this thing. So it's pretty neat. Let's just talk about some of the successes that you've had during this fitness journey. How much weight have you lost since you started at CrossFit Goldsboro?
I am at about 27 pounds total off and kept it off.
Awesome. Incredible. So you know what your body fat percentage dropped down by?
Oh, I think we dropped it by, did it end up being 13%?
Yeah.
Or 8?
Yeah.
I mean, you started at 8, dropped down to 13.
Tell them what you were close to. What did you start
I
at?
was close to 30.
There you go.
31% body fat when we started.
Cool. We've got some incredible before and after photos of you. One was for your birthday. You know what I mean? It was like in the gym, like, holy cow, go back and look at who that person was and who you are now. So
That was the picture that did it for me.
awesome. How old are you now? How old were you when you started?
I'm 46 now. When I started here with you guys, 43.
Yeah. So I think, for any of our moms that are in the 20s, 30s, 40s, I'll always say this: there's never an age that you can put on learning, changing, developing a new skill, starting a new career, starting a new side hustle. But I see people get places and the knowledge dies, and you follow that. So it's typically how it goes. So the fitness journey 3 years ago, CrossFit Goldsboro. How'd you get started? Like what got you into our gym? What made you sign up for CrossFit Goldsboro?
All right, I've always been active. I've always done something. Whether it was playing sports, and then once you get older, you get married, you have kids, you kind of lose yourself. There's not a lot of things out there for you, so you just join a local gym. I started running 5Ks.
Oh yeah, been on that road.
That was not really what I loved doing, and then was kind of forced to stop doing that because of my knees, and ended up at another local gym that I kind of knew from the beginning wasn't really right for me. They were pushing starvation diets and just 30 minutes of cardio every day. It wasn't getting it done. I was still not feeling good. I was fit fat, basically. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but I was locked in. That was another thing I didn't like. I was locked into a contract with people, and But my sons were here with you.
Yeah.
My sons were taking a group fitness class to get better at baseball. They were training for baseball season, so I'd come in and watch you guys finish up.
Yeah.
And I was more watching the class going on the other side than I was what you were doing with my kids.
Cool.
And I was like, oh, this looks fun. I can do this. I'd probably like to jump over those boxes and swing around those bars a little bit. So
cool.
You kept talking a little crap. A little
poking, kept on poking at you.
And I was like, all right, let me get out of this contract I'm locked in, because you know me, financial advisor, I don't like to waste my money.
Yeah.
And so that was it. December of 19?
Wow, yeah.
I was
Absolutely.
done, and I shot you a message. I was like, sign me up. Let's get it.
Awesome stuff. So, at 43, switching gyms, working around your kid's schedule, being a mother, working at, 8 to 5 financial advisor stuff, stock
Pretty
market's
much.
open.
Yes.
So, whichever days that's open, which they only take off a few major holidays and stuff like that. But yeah, that's an incredible story. 27 pounds and good Lord, 13% body fat. And I'm sure I'll post one, or we can go back and look at some of the photos of before and afterwards that are pretty incredible of your fitness journey. And then that's led you into coaching, and now you teach some group fitness classes.
Yep.
That you literally walked into my gym and used to watch.
Yeah.
Right? What certifications did you go acquire?
I got weightlifting, level 1 coaching.
Awesome.
Some personal, certified personal trainer.
Awesome.
Type.
Awesome. And then Mr. Garrett makes you do an internship at
Oh,
CrossFit Goldsboro.
3 months, threw me in there.
Yep, I always say this: I will teach you more than any textbook will be able to in any multiple choice exam.
That's a fact.
Yep. So, pretty incredible background. Why coaching? What do you enjoy about coaching?
Why coaching? Okay, so you changed my life.
Absolutely.
Literally changed my life. Because once I joined the gym, I didn't do the nutrition until about 6 months later. Right?
Yeah.
After all of that happened, after kind of getting in shape, losing the weight, getting stronger, I loved how I felt. I want other people to feel how I feel. Especially the moms, especially the women. Because, I don't think anybody works harder than a mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm responsible for so much every single day. You tend to lose who you are.
Yeah.
You put yourself on the back burner. That's when you get lazy. That's when you don't feel good about yourself. I hate to say it. That's when you get fat. That's when you get down on yourself. I'm not in that place anymore. I want other people to feel like I feel, and I feel like I can help them do that.
That's great. It's dealing with that stress. Yes, it gives our hormones an imbalance. Mm-hmm. You can do your 30 minutes of cardio if you want to, but it's not going to change your life. It's not going to change it. See that all the time. I see people struggling with that currently in my gym all the time. Mm-hmm. Yo-yo diet, yo-yo discipline.
Yep.
Yes, I said discipline. When you come once or twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week, that's not getting it done, folks. But we might dive into some of that here in just a little bit. But I think it's incredible that you're passing it along. And coaching some of the evening classes, a couple Fridays, doing some personal training with folks, and I can't wait to see that grow for you as well. The impact that you make on people's life will last forever, and fulfillment is one of my biggest things, and I talk about it all the time. I'm not going to say I do this for free, but good Lord, sometimes I pretty much am, and I feel like I am. But at the end of the day, you can change one life, get one smile, have that person start that healthy lifestyle.
Yep.
Longevity, happiness, that stuff goes a long, long way. So just happy to see you step across the line, pass it along, go help some other folks, especially here in the Wayne County area. Our knowledge, when I started CrossFit Goldsboro here and I was teaching people how to do it cleans, I had the local PE coaches think I was some kind of crazy psychopath, and I was like, hey, we're doing this at Division I schools, you train high school athletes that want to be college athletes that want to be so-and-so. I'm like, every person on planet Earth should be able to do some variation of a clean, power clean for my large 6'6", 330 defensive freaking tackles and linemen, but you know, we've got Mr. John in my gym who's 70 years old. We celebrated a birthday of 60 today. I've got people that are going through chemo treatments and doing cleans and Olympic weightlifting, explosive strength movements, and it's a really incredible thing to be able to bring that to our area. And then obviously we got a weightlifting team that's nationwide, no, worldwide, sorry, but that's all over planet Earth. So be able to teach those folks and they go pass it on. That's probably one of my happiest things that, right, as a coach, like get to help Miranda out with the fitness stuff, losing the 20 pounds and the body fat and the weightlifting accomplishments. Yeah, it's easy for me. It's my job, right? So, but for you to take that knowledge and pass it on to the next person, you never know.
Yeah.
It's just really powerful stuff.
Just keep it going.
Yep. So 3 years ago, we're taking local classes, bodyweight stuff. We're talking about starving ourselves diets. I see it all the time. I got people that do CrossFit that eating lettuce and salads, starving themselves. Some of them then go binge eat. Just some of the funniest stuff I see all the time is, you know, people trying to be excellent. They're posting alcohol on their Instagrams all the time. Sorry, I can't take you serious. Can't even look you in the face and tell you the honest truth because I know it's going to break you in half, kind of thing. So we see that all the time. So I call it lukewarm, and there's actually a podcast on us talking about lukewarm. But you know, me and Rob sat down and talked about that, Scout. Like, it's one of those things like, I'd rather have you 110% in than 70%. And it's one of those things, don't talk to me about the 110% types of things if you're at 70% and you're lukewarm. So that's a whole different conversation for a different day. But love to see that, hey, you dove in 110%. Like, Mike, what do I need to do, how to do this, show me the path.
Yeah.
I can put you on that, but you've got to do it at the end of the day. And I see that's where people lack nowadays, especially in 2022. Self-discipline is a thing of the past.
It's my biggest issue with people is to hear them complain, you know, for lack of a better word, just kind of bitch and whine about I don't want to do, I don't want to be fat, I want to be fit, I want to do that, I want to do that. But do you really?
Yeah.
Because I hear you talk about it a lot. I hear you say you want to lose weight. I hear you say you want to get in shape, but then 2 days later you're posting pizza and wine and like, well, you say one thing, you do another.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. I think that's also goes into the mentality that, you know, I've got people that walk in and we see them, you know, first 5 minutes playing and whining already. I'm like, hey, cool. You can be in the inner circle for this 1 hour, but after that 1 hour, I promise you won't be inside my inner circle. So, you know, I use like Rob Jones. Last weekend, I got to run 2 5Ks in the morning with a gentleman. Lost his legs in Afghanistan, IED detective for the Marine Corps. Use that for some motivation, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things like hearing people complain, whine, I'm busy, tired, blah, 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 blah. Cool, fill in a blank. This guy's got no legs and he's running, folks. Say that again. What excuse were you talking about? I couldn't hear you. You might want to stand up loud enough and say that to it. Mr. Rob Jones can hear you say that excuse as well. So see that all the time and use that for motivation. One of the things, like, you know, it motivated us in that moment at 5 a.m. on a beach. But hey, use that mentality, not for just that day,
right,
for your entire life, right? So one of my favorite quotes is, "Our worst day is someone else's dream," right? So I hear people complaining about work was busy, the kids, the schedule, don't have time, blah, blah, blah. There are people who would literally die to walk in your shoes every single day. So I always say, hey, your worst day is someone else's dream, and that's God honest truth, right? So it's one of those things. People don't have the same opportunity or privileges or accessibility that we do. Make the most of it, right? And we see that get missed all the time. So switching gears, the fitness is awesome. Nutrition, what'd you do there? Because, right, Wayne County, we only have a few options to go eat healthy in this county.
Right.
Same exact thing. I ran the same play. Bring CrossFit here 14 years ago, bam. You know, the first 5 years, people thought it was absolutely nuts, right? Clean Eat, same thing. First year open, every single day, ask for salt, sugar, artificial sweetener, sodas, right? So that's just Clean Eats, right? There's one or two, very few other ones in town that really are like, hey, here's the calorie content, here's some of the healthy stuff, here's some of the fun stuff, and then, you know, here's some stuff that we want to completely avoid. I don't have any of those things you want to completely avoid in my facility. We got protein cookies coming, so right at nighttime, you're going to have 2 grams of sugar and 7 grams of protein in one cookie. So, hey, for me, I can have 3 of them, 6 grams of sugar and 21 grams of protein.
Yeah.
That keeps me away from the snacks, right, or the unhealthy stuff that people dive into after dinner time. What'd you do nutrition to get that 27 pounds of weight loss? Because as you said, it took you 6 months before you dove into that. What did that look like?
Well, like I said, I was here 6 months, and it was that picture, the picture that you and I have together for my birthday. Okay. I saw that picture, and at that point, I was hanging in classes. I could do some classes, finish them, sweating, whatever. Yeah. When I saw that picture, I immediately was, instead of being happy, look, I've got these new friends, it's my birthday. No, I immediately was like, this is not what I want to look like.
You were lukewarm.
I was lukewarm, and I was like, this is not who I want to be, and this is not who I was. That's why I like the women aspect and the mom aspect, because that's more people who I feel fall in that category. I made up my mind. Yeah. So I was done right then. At that moment, like, you have people talk about it and say they want to do it. You have to make that decision yourself. No one else is going to talk you into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, I can help you. You can come and say, I can help you get through a 30-minute class or an hour class, but I can't make you want to be better.
Yeah, that's just 1 hour of the day.
That's 1 hour of the day that I can help you, and I'm willing to meet you where you're at.
Yeah.
But until you decide yourself, it's just not going to happen. So I think I called you the next day, or messaged you the next day. I was like, I need you to help me. I don't want to look like this.
Yeah, awesome.
And that's what we did. I changed everything.
Yeah, and you mentioned, hey, the 1 hour of the classes, or 1 hour of coaching, or 1 hour of personal training, whatever, 1 hour of training, right? The other 23 is what's going to make the big difference.
And that's the hard part.
And I can see it when they walk through the door, that the last 23 hours has been shit, has been crap. And I can look at folks. I know most of my clients well enough at 5:30, 6:30. They walk in the door, right? I'm like, that person gained 6 pounds since last Thursday. That person looks super inflamed. We're doing a simple dynamic warm-up stretch, and you're sore to the touch and barely can move. And I've always said, if you're weak, you're fat, or if you don't move well, that combination right there of any of those 2 out of 3, if you don't move well and you're weak, you're going to get hurt every single time. I don't even care what athleticism event we're playing, right? That can be 5K running, skill level 1.
0.
I'll give you 1. You got to be able to put 1 foot in front of the other. Actually, it doesn't require legs. I watched that firsthand the other day. All right, but hey, that 5K can get affected by the other 23 hours of what you're doing to your body. I see that all the time. So, yeah. So, nutrition. What plan? I'm gonna try to talk like I'm naive and I don't know. I already know all this stuff. But what did the plan look like for you for nutrition to change your mindset and change what you were consuming?
So basically, I was just consuming whatever was easy, whatever was there. Like I said, busy life. These were the excuses that I had for myself. Kids everywhere, picking them up, dropping them off. I was just grabbing whatever was close. Even if you think it was healthy. Like, I was like, oh, well, I'll just grab this.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of the fries. You know, like, it was still all so bad for me.
Yeah.
You told me, here, I need you to eat this many calories, hit this number of protein. So, basically, I was just tracking my macros with you, and I didn't realize how hard that was. It took me, like, 3 weeks to really figure it out.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So, and around here...
It takes work.
It takes work, and... I wasn't going to allow myself to fail at it. So I figured out what foods were best for me. Like, I cut out the sugars. I cut out, I cut out alcohol. I went cold turkey. Yeah. I was done. To proteins, good carbs, just keeping my calories under control.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think the
misconception around here is you push things that are supposed to be healthy, but when you flip it over and look at it, it's just really not. So you have to be aware of every single thing that you're putting in your body.
Absolutely. I think the program I typically put people on is for 8 weeks. It's not a starve yourself diet.
No, I was eating more food.
I tell people all the time, like, Your metabolism is highly affected if you undereat or overeat. And I see people doing both of those. Actually, in a 7-day week, 4 days of overeating, 3 days of undereating, we're tearing up our hormones. We're going to have such a huge imbalance, man. Your gut doesn't even know what to do. Your metabolism at that point is like, holy crap, man, what is happening here? The stress that causes your body, you can only do that so many times until your metabolism just craps out.
This is like done.
Right, and I see that happen all the time. I'm like, well, it is completely at the bottom. Estrogen, testosterone levels are smoke, way off the chart. You're done in that. Your cortisol levels, go get those tested too, because I already know they're high. If you're a male, I already know your testosterone is a whopping 100, and your wife's probably going to be unhappy, right? So, and that's when we start getting guys starting to look like women. I'm like, hey, man, we're carrying excessive weight in some areas that we shouldn't be. But I see that all the time. They just don't know, right? And they're just beating yourselves up over and over and over again. But I make them do it for 8 weeks. I made you do it for 8 weeks, and we took a real simple photo beforehand and afterwards.
I think in that 8 weeks, though, it was huge. 8 weeks was still like 13 pounds.
And that's just a small piece, right? I always tell people, like, hey, this 8 weeks is for you to learn how to do this. And it's one of those things when you come out on the side of it. I always tell people, and that's when you deserve a reward. That's when you might want to go have some unhealthy options for some fun, because you've earned that balance. I see, most of my clients have way too much balance in their life, right? And they're trying to achieve some excellence with something great. And I'm like, no, that's about as amateur as it gets. That's cool. Just don't tell me if you want to be excellent or great, because I ain't buying it, because I've been down this road for over 2 decades, played at the highest levels of sports that you possibly could do, taking people in the CrossFit and in the weightlifting world to the very top.
Yeah.
CrossFit game athletes, people going out to Madison, to nationals, medaling in nationals. We don't do those things, guys. Those things don't equal success, and I think a lot of people have a tough time with that. But that's fine. Like, hey, it's okay. Make sure you stay in your lane in that department. I avoid those people like the plague. I say this one thing, and I know this is recorded. I'm going to shoot it. This is like a philosophy of mine. We talk about an hour, this, that, the other 24 hours. Physically, mentally, weak people can be poison to the rest of the group's growth. The rest of the group's growth. Come to a group fitness class, the first 5 minutes you start a little whining. Guess what? That's going to affect the other people in the class, right? So separate those folks. Sometimes they go to the back of the rack in the class. Perfect. Go over that corner and hide. Right? It's a good place for you to be. So it's one of those things until they can switch that mindset and their actions to follow the words. None of that ever changed. So pretty impactful stuff. And I know I was able to get through with you on that. If I can change the mind a little bit, the body's going to follow. So fitness goals now. What does it look like? Because 3 years ago we're doing classes down the street, bodyweight stuff, just having a good time.
Fitness goals now. I'm all about goals. I'm all about setting goals and having plans. Right now, my fitness goal is one thing and one thing only. I love the Olympic weightlifting part of this. I love the local meets. I love the state meets. I'm going to bring home some medals from nationals. That's what I'm going to do.
That's a hefty, large goal, and I love to hear it, right? And it's one of those things, you believe in yourself, coach believes in yourself, you know what I mean? It's one of those things, like, you've heard me say this before, I can't be the only one that believes you're going to be excellent.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, hey, I know you're going to hit this number. I know you're going to hit this number, right? And I changed your mentality on that. Here we go, I'm going to shoot it. Everyone's straight. CrossFitters, I can't wait to snatch a blue. I'm like, oh my God, that's a whopping 78% of your body weight. That is beyond weak and is going to get you murdered in any kind of weightlifting meet. You can play and have some fun at local meets. State meets a local meet too, I'm sorry. You can have some fun there and get some medals. And
I'm looking forward to state meet. I hope I do well, but that right now is the only thing I'm focused on.
Yeah, absolutely. And those other, showing up, and there's like 15 girls in your weight class, right? In the 45 to 49 division. What you think the other 14 are doing right now? You know what I mean? If they're lukewarm, cool. I don't know. Maybe if I middleweight nationals, right? Cool. That's not going to get done, right? So I recommend anyone who's listening to this and needs some Relentless, the book by Chris Gover, who was the trainer for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Killer instincts, their mentality was killer.
His quote is one of my favorites. It's you're your mind has to be stronger than your emotions.
Yeah, absolutely.
At all times.
Yeah, and you see that's the first thing you walk into my gym. You see it. No strong backs will make up for that weak mind, folks.
Yep.
I see that all the time. That's a hefty goal. I love it. I truly believe you will accomplish that in this age bracket, and then when you go on to the next age bracket, I think you're going to be the one to beat kind of thing, and it's pretty neat. You understand this now. I always say this, and people look at me like I'm crazy. I take a ton of honor and pride in having Goldsboro, North Carolina, or CrossFit Goldsboro 95 East on my back, on my shirt, with my name attached to it. Mike Garrett, blah, 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 national medalist, 4 years counting. Bam, there you go, 95 East out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. That is some awesome stuff. And you go look at the other roster of the folks, and they're coming from a highly populated area who have options of weightlifting and a weightlifting team of hundreds of people and stuff like that. And here we are, small town, super small vibes with some of the things that we do and deal with on a daily basis. But I chase after excellence, and the quality when you do that is incredible. Like I said, we got a team that's worldwide and put a lot of medals around people's necks, not just in Olympic weightlifting, but almost every fitness aspect on earth. So really, really neat. Thanks for sharing that with everybody. You know, that's really, really cool. Fitness wise, what does it look like now? Like, what do you, like a week schedule? Like, I know you still do CrossFit for conditioning, right? CrossFit is conditioning. I'm sorry to tell everyone that.
Yeah.
And if you're not strong, you're always just doing CrossFit for conditioning. So what does your schedule look like for an entire week?
My schedule for the week, I CrossFit 2 days a week,
Awesome.
Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Why Tuesday, Thursday?
Tuesday, Thursday, because it's the hardest days. It pushes me the most.
You like the challenge?
I like the
challenge. You like to get challenged and pushed. Cool.
Yeah, those are, if you
Some
follow
don't.
along and you know what's
Some
happening.
don't. Some avoid it like it's the plague. It's hard. It's challenging. You should seek that.
Those are the weak-minded people.
Yeah.
So, Tuesday, Thursday, best days in the gym for me. If I have the time for Saturdays, because it's more like a Thursday, I love those too. But at this point, I am weightlifting Monday, Wednesday, sometimes Friday, Saturday. So CrossFit twice a week, lifting 3 or 4 times a week.
Awesome. Beautiful. And I think, you know, folks that are listening to that, not all 4 of those weightlifting sessions are heavy. Some of them are light days, some are technique days.
Some just bodybuilding days.
Some are strength development days. I think I see that. That's like probably the biggest gap I see in folks. Like, your base strength has to be incredible if you want to be great at a sport that requires strength.
Yeah.
And I see that all the time, and I tell people, like, hey, you got enough technique to win a gold medal. You're just lacking the strength. I got enough technique right now to win a gold medal in Olympics. God honest truth, right? I'm not 22, and I do not have the strength requirement to go win an Olympics gold medal. Right?
Yeah.
And I see that all the time. Like, strength ratios, I think probably is one thing that's changed the way you view weightlifting now, and how to get strong, how to develop the strength to get that is when you start doing the ratio percentages that you can really dive into it. And I probably, when you looked at me like I was nuts, I'm like, hey, like top level, 2 times your body weight front squats. And then all these clean things would be a piece of cake. Look at CJ Joyner, who's 46 years old, yesterday take 1.9% of his body weight for a front squat for 1.
Yeah.
Doubled 1.85 for 2. Now you're going to tell me he's going to have any issues with cleaning a barbell. He's going to have enough strength to do any variation of the snatch now. He's going to be able to do the jerk and the drive of the jerk of taking a weight over his head. It starts with the base of your leg strength, and this guy's got it, right?
Yep.
A lot of people might not know Jay's story. This guy's, he won so many state medals we can't count him anymore. He's got more accolades, CrossFit Games qualifier, all right? So I don't think people, they don't know that. They just see a guy who's training with intensity in the back. Well, that guy knows what he's doing, folks. I've been training Jay for 12 years now. I can't even tell you how many medals this guy has accomplished. I posted a text message between him and I. I didn't put whose name on it, but some people got to read it. And you got to see his goals, and they're very hefty, and they're just like yours. He told me the reason he was going to suit back up and go win our gym another national medal. He said, Mike, it's because of you and how you changed my life, which you're doing currently now for other people.
Yep.
So there's the fulfillment, impact. Pretty powerful stuff when you get into that kind of level of athleticism. He has the same issues that all of us have. Time, work, busy. You see the guy's running around, crazy schedule. I can't even keep up with it. It's actually fun to hear it.
That's why I get a little, I giggle a little, and I laugh a little at some of these younger folks. No kids, no bills, no real responsibilities, and everybody's so stressed out. I'm so stressed out. Okay. Good for you, sweetie. Go.
This guy's schedule's so busy. I seen him break a window in the parking lot so he could get to his daughter's volleyball game.
Yeah.
Right, because that's how crammed it was. He had to get 60 minutes to try to work out. Right, he knew he had to take care of his body and get himself ready to work breaking out windows. That's called wanting it. Mm-hmm. That is displaying it. Yeah, that might be extreme for some folks. It's not extreme for winners. No. Right, winners literally look like they're obsessed, and people will look at them.
I get accused of being obsessed with this.
Perfect. That's what it's going to take to be a winner.
And I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If some of these people do it for decades, right? I think Michael Jordan fell on top of the mountain. I think Kobe Bryant tripped his way to NBA championships. Michael Johnson, one of the best track and field runners that we ever had for the country of the United States of America in 96, 2000s, 2004. This guy was a monster. Absolutely. Did he look obsessed? Yeah, he was at the track 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. Or Jamaican running team or sprinters. I got to go down to Jamaica and see that firsthand. It's twice a day. I'm like, holy crap, guys, what's going on? Well, they smoke everybody in the Olympics. They have more accolades in the 100, the 4x100 relay than any country on earth. And I got to go be a part of it for 4 or 5 days. I was smoked, and I wasn't the one sprinting every minute. You know what I mean? I was there to go help coach, warm and cool these athletes up, take care of their nutrition. And so we would have all that going on, and these guys were showing up with a smile on their face. So yes, obsession might look like that for some folks, and they might think that you're crazy for it. Yeah. But when you got a hefty goal, it's going to take some obsession. And hey, even if that's just something small on a very small scale level of losing 5 pounds or 10 pounds at your local fitness gym, trying to accomplish that goal, hey, you're going to start making sacrifices that you probably haven't done in the last couple of months, the last couple of years. You didn't get that way for a reason. So I see that all the time, and I absolutely love it. And folks that can't get to that level, kind of avoid them like the plague, right? Because say if they're not on that same level with you, it can stunt your growth. So It's the way I look at those things. Circling back, you did the fitness journey with the exercising. You shared what you currently do, which looks like 5 to 6 training sessions a day. Sometimes it's, if you got to double up because of your crazy work schedule, you just make it happen, right? Yeah. So nutrition, you talked about that. You did 8 weeks. You hired a nutritional coach to take you through that journey. Now you're able to do it yourself, pass that information on. One thing that I did have you do is some food allergy sensitivity testing. You and me can definitely recommend that to someone else, or like a new client for you or a new client for me. They're really struggling with stuff, or if they don't know, they might be actually putting something in their body that they think is healthy, but it's causing inflammation. And I've even seen people come back, and it might be something, a green vegetable is causing some inflammation for some folks. People that might consume a ton of potatoes or steak or chicken or eggs. I've seen eggs come back for people. I've seen red meat. I've seen even, chicken come back for folks that are causing inflammation. So I highly recommend, that's just a little tidbit. And I could point you in the right direction on doing that. There's a whole bunch of companies that do it. Just simple blood work. You can mail it, ship it back in kind of thing that can help you out. What are some of the things that you like to do for recovery with training with that amount of volume? Like, what are some of the things that you do monthly, quarterly, daily, weekly that you do to help your body recover?
To recover, again, my schedule's pretty tight, so I kind of have things planned out in advance. The simple day-to-day things, I'm constantly stretching. I'm constantly doing some mobility work, even if it's at home. At night I'll take cold showers to kind of get the inflammation out of my body. I always schedule a massage here and there. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's just kind of how I have to get through.
Absolutely. Warming up, cooling down, what's that look like for you?
At after 40, you need to be warming up a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to get all those joints nice and warm. So I'll spend minimum 10 minutes. You know, like, even if I'm in a hurry, I'd rather not finish the end of my workout, but get warmed up. So I'm on a machine for 4 or 5 minutes. I'm stretching. I'm using bands. I mean, I've got to get it warmed up.
Taking care of the range of motion as well, right? Making
Yeah.
sure we can get into those extreme positions.
Squats and
Like I said, if you're weak and you don't move well, you're gonna get hurt every
you're gonna
time.
get hurt.
And I see that often.
I don't plan on stopping this, so.
I see people come in and warm up for 2-3 minutes and grab a bar. I'm like, oh yeah, good
Yeah.
time. Hey Mike, my shoulder, Mike, my knee.
And then
Mike,
once
my
I'm
hip.
here, I'll have an empty barbell for 5 or 6 minutes and.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Nutrition, supplementation. Like, is there stuff that you enjoy that you put in your body, you played around with? Like, what do you take daily? Because some women might freak out if they hear the word creatine or pre-workout or
I was
something
going to
like.
say, 2 years ago, I didn't do any of these things, but I'm basically I've messed around with a few things. I'm a first form girl at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
The BCAAs, the creatine, the man. If I sent you a picture of my cabinet above my coffee maker, it kind of looks like your storefront out here.
Absolutely.
But
same.
I mean,
I love the company. They're great. I tell people all the time they're top 3 in the world.
It's clean. It's very.
Reasonable priced.
Yeah. Even the pre-workout, I'm still using First Form.
Yeah, they have a great fitness and nutrition app as well. I tell the people all the time, for $15, like for the 8 weeks that I train with folks for nutrition wise, like we're gonna master my fitness pal, and there's a couple, two or three other ones I think you might know, like a couple of different folks I might have on my fitness pal, and I think there's a couple other ones that there's one that requires a little bit more discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So I put them on those ones if they need it or I think they need it, and then you can get into First Form's fitness app and nutrition app's pretty freaking awesome, pretty cool. And to tap into their community is great too. So I highly recommend that. But yes, what weight class are you in so people can hear this?
I'm in the 59 weight class.
How much weight is that in pounds for people who don't know?
130 pounds.
Okay, 130 pounds. She takes creatine and BCAAs daily, some pre-workouts, some whey protein. What other protein? I already know this.
I got collagen. Yeah, and then
collagen. What do you put that in?
My coffee.
Cool.
Every day.
That's great. What does collagen do for the body?
It helps my joints and recovery. It's just
Awesome
hair,
stuff.
skin. Everything. I feel great. I just had a doctor's appointment. I'm 46 years old. He said I'm not only in the top 1% of his 40 plus. He said you're one of the healthiest patients I have.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, and
he was like, keep doing what you're doing.
So creatine and BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, and leucine is actually the amino acid that we're going after, but we naturally consume that. So whenever male, female tells me like, oh, creatine, blah, blah, you eat it in meat, it's in all meat, it's in seafood too. Like, okay, never mind, don't worry, I said anything.
And that's the part that people don't know.
Like leucine helps us with the soreness.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make the body less sore. The muscular system requires it. Mitochondria in our body requires it. And if you don't have it, you're going to be stiff. Most likely you're going to be dealing with hydration and cramping issues, which I see all the time in CrossFit land on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays after 10 minutes. People, I'm like, man, you're probably dehydrated. Like, come on, like, holy crap. Like, let's just do a simple skin test real quick. Yeah, buddy, you've probably been dehydrated for weeks. What are we doing? You know what I mean? So those are just simple tidbits that we can share with people and pass along with knowledge. When's that weightlifting meet for you?
March
of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
It is currently, we're going to call it October 1st.
It's October 1st.
Right, so you're kind of ramping up for that, right?
Yes.
So you're doing states in October.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like on a level of seriousness for you?
For me, I do want to go do well.
Yeah.
I'm going, I just love lifting weights. So I'm going to go have a good time. I'm going to go after it and see what I can total. But that's just a stop on my way to March.
Just a stepping stone
on
the way to the top. Yep, absolutely. Fun meet
for me.
Small pool of athletes.
Yeah.
I know this might be a large meet for some folks that are new. They're at the very beginning of this, and I always tell that to people. I even said this to a client the other day, like, regardless, I don't care where you're at right this second. if you're not feeling well, you're not great, you're not at peak, blah, blah, you go out there because it's time for you to go out there and square up against the other 20 girls that are in your weight class in this area, right? And for folks that don't know, North Carolina's weightlifting is way bigger than South Carolina's. Like literally 80% of this meet's going to be North Carolinians, and then South Carolina will be the other 20%. So like in the 59, I think we looked at the other day, if there's 18 girls, right, I really, like 15 of them from North Carolina. So really neat to be a part of that community. And it's just like any other sport, right? Like, there's axe throwing clubs for the state of North Carolina. There's running clubs for the state of North Carolina. So go see some of the best. Be around that community is a really powerful thing. And I've seen masters athletes whoop the snot out of some 20 and 30-year-olds before, and that's always really cool to do. So and see and be a part of. And you never know, you can empower that 20, 25-year-old young mothers. You know what I mean? That are having the same issues that you had before.
That's probably the best part about this for me. Is I get messages almost daily.
Yeah.
Almost
awesome.
daily. I mean, for sure, several a week from people, mainly girls, mainly women, who are like, thank you for pushing me. You inspire me. Like, I want to be you when I grow up. And I'm just like, oh, man, dang, this is cool. Like, that's the best part of it for me.
Correct.
And, I mean, I could just show you. It's just,
I think my last question I have for you, and then I know you said you have some questions for me, but we'll dive right into it. So I think we're going to try to wrap this up here in a couple minutes. But we got a Super Moms Club at my gym, right? I literally call them Super Moms to their face. They embrace it. They love it. It's not only, we got some grandmothers in there. We've got some moms. We got some to-be moms. We've got women that aspire to be mothers one day that might be in their early 20s and stuff like that. What does the Super Mom Club mean to Miranda?
Just about everything. It's one of the best parts of this gym. It's one of the best parts of this community. One of those super moms has become literally one of my best friends. We just, like I said, you inspire others. You inspire the moms to be. You inspire the young moms. Being a woman is pretty badass, honestly. We have, we're the ones who are getting it done. Raising the kids up, taking care of everything, being strong, being in here and kids are watching. It's the best part for me.
It's one of those things that's super empowering, even for a male, to see a female going through what their body had. My body hasn't gone through the changes that you females' bodies have gone through.
We literally grow
right?
humans and
absolutely. And seeing you guys go through that 9-10 months, and it's way more than that, right? There's a recovery phase after pregnancy and labor and stuff like that. So I love how you guys stick together. I love the camaraderie that you guys display, the support you guys show for each other. And it even starts with our gym mom, who's 60-something years old.
Love her.
Going to be an incredible grandmother one day. She's super mom material, and she's definitely at the top of the list on that thing. So absolutely love it. If you ever get a chance, go through our Instagram, Facebook. I'm sure you can find the hashtag Supermoms. We use it all the time. So you had 2 questions for me. Let's do those before we wrap this up.
2 questions for you. The first one's kind of, I know how I feel about it, and you're the leader of all this. Like, you're in charge of it. So you got kids, you got college students and grandparents, and everybody in here is such a diverse group. How do you relate to everyone? How do you lead everyone and relate to so many different people?
Yeah, I'll make this quick. We got like a minute or two. Okay. So I was college professor, college strength and conditioning coach after my collegiate and professional and all my sports, right? So this is what I went into. I was in a classroom one day, sports nutrition for college students, 18 to 21-year-olds, drinking Mountain Dews and Doritos in my class, reading books, taking multiple choice exams is what I was doing, right? So I was like, hey, I'm stopping this, bam. I want to go make a larger impact. I can go change grandmothers. I can go change parents. I can go change the youth athlete who wants to aspire to be a great high school athlete. So I was going after impact. I knew at that moment, literally right there, final exam, one semester, is what changed my life. I was like, done. Bam. I'm leading 30 kids, and they're kids, 18 to 21-year-olds, are trying to find their identity. So when they were bringing Mountain Dews to a nutrition course, I was like, no, I've got a bigger impact. I can make a larger impact on Earth, and that's where we're at now.
Right. And then at the end of the day, you put in some long days, you work hard here. What what makes it worth it to you? What makes you the happiest
Oh,
out of
man.
all of this?